It was like about 12 years ago when I had rheumatoid arthritis.
Satoko, I want to thank you for taking the time to be here this morning.
Thank you so much for having me,
Yes,
Lance.
and you have a very interesting story. I usually go through everyone's background whenever I do a podcast, but I'd like to start off with your interesting story first because you had rheumatoid arthritis.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So it was like about 12 years ago when I had rheumatoid arthritis in early 30s. So it was very, very shocking to me. You know, rheumatoid arthritis is basically the immune system is in disorder. And so you start to have pain. And when I got that, like over the first 3 to 6 months, I started to have pain on my joints, like fingers first.
Is this genetic? Is it because of your family that you had rheumatoid arthritis?
Oh, no.
Had nothing to do with that?
No, nothing to do with that.
Are you the only child?
I have 2 sisters.
Younger or older?
Older sisters.
How many years difference between you and your sisters?
So 6 years and 8 years difference.
Same mom and dad?
Yes.
My goodness. All right, is everyone okay? Your mom and dad and your sisters are okay now?
So my dad passed away when I was 9 years old.
Oh.
Yeah, but my mom is still healthy and, yeah, living in Fukushima, where it's my hometown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. So let's get back to the arthritis. You had pain in your joints. When did this start?
So when I was 34, and yeah, it was maybe like 1 year after I came back to Japan. I lived overseas, and I had a divorce. So there were so many changes in my life at that time, and also I was back in Japan, and the work was quite stressful as well, and I didn't eat, in a healthy way. Like I went to have convenient food and eat outside, not cooking so much. So I was kind of abusing myself, and
Did you
I
drink?
think,
Did you drink?
yeah.
Did you smoke?
Oh no, I never
Okay.
smoke, but
What
yeah.
kind of drinking did you do?
Drinking.
Yeah, what kind of?
Alcohol.
Yes. I know, but was it
Yeah.
wine? Was it whiskey? Did you?
Oh,
It didn't
but
matter?
at that time I wasn't into alcohol so much. Only after 35 or something, I started to like wine. Once I got to know like some really good red wines, like that got me, and I started to like exploring wine. But up until then, I didn't drink that much. Yeah.
Okay. So you had all these stress and stuff. What kind of work were you doing at that time?
At that time, I was in insurance industry. So when I was overseas, I was working in the insurance industry, and then we were going to get a divorce. So I had to find a job. So I found one in Japan, and yeah, with a insurance, not the insurance company. It's a German, auto company.
So you were born in Fukushima, you said.
Yes.
All right. Now, as a little girl, how many years difference? You said 6 years between you?
And yeah, 6 and 8.
And 8. Are you very close with your sisters?
Yes.
I think you had to be because your father passed away when you were 9.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad. Was it a bad accident, something?
Oh no, he passed away from cancer.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was a hereditary thing. So his father also died at the age of 40. He did as well, and also his brother as well. So yeah, so it was.
Was he a smoker?
Oh, he was a smoker, but it was a colon cancer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. My goodness. So your mom, how did she take care of everything after that?
So yeah, she had to raise 3 kids, and I was
Yes.
only 9 years old. So yeah, it must have been very, very tough, but she is such a loving person. And yeah, she raised us with love, and she even, sent us to schools, and I could even go to university, and
All
yeah,
because
she
of your
did.
mom.
Yeah,
What kind of work
because
was
of
she
my
doing
mom.
then to do that?
She was just an administrative person in a factory. Yeah, but she somehow managed.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
beautiful.
she didn't even have education, but yeah, only up until like 15 years old, and she didn't go to high school, but yeah, she made it work for us. So I
So how old
really
is your mother
appreciate.
now? How old is she now?
She's becoming 80 years old
80 years old.
this November.
Is she in good health?
Yeah, she's in good health, and yeah, we are trying to have a 80th birthday for her, birthday party. Yeah.
Yeah. When you were a little girl, were you more academic or were you more sports minded? Let's say in elementary school.
Um, Both. Yeah, I liked studying as well, and also I played tennis. Yeah, and
Wait,
basketball.
in elementary school you played tennis?
Basketball when I was in elementary school.
Okay.
Yeah, and tennis, like it's not the proper tennis; it's soft tennis.
Right.
Yeah, in junior high.
Now, did you go to a private school or was it just public
It
school?
was a public
Public
school.
school.
Yeah.
And you had lots of friends and
Yeah, I
but
did.
your sisters were so far ahead of you. None of them were in any of your grades or any of your schools when you were there.
Never.
Because 6 years,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so you actually you had three mothers. Because your mother's working all the time, your older sister had to take care of
Yeah,
you,
that's
right?
true. Yeah.
And your other sister, she wasn't a bully to you, was she? The one 6 years older than you?
Um, they
She's
were kind of bullies when I was like up until 12. Yeah, they didn't really like me because,
they had to take care of you.
yeah, and also, I had, my mother like all to myself basically, and I think they were jealous at
Yeah.
that time.
But the little time your mother had, because she was working
Yeah,
all the time, so that means when she
yeah.
did come home, she went to her baby.
Yeah,
Okay.
but my oldest sister was very good at cooking. So instead of my mom cooking, sometimes she cooked, and I loved her cooking. My sister's, she's the best cook I've ever known in my life, even to this day.
Oh,
Yeah, she's an amazing cook, and we used to go to a supermarket together, and yeah, instead of my mom because she was working. So yeah, and it was a nice time, and I remember that. And even the middle sister, when I was studying for high school, we need to take the high school exam. So she lived in Sendai at that time, and I was in Koriyama, but she invited me to stay with her for the summer for 1 month. And it's a big thing for a junior high student to be out of the town. And yeah, I remember it was a very nice time. She took care of me during the 1 month, and I could concentrate on studying.
that is
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
That's beautiful.
I started to remember all these memories
Were
talking
both
to
of
you.
were both of them married? Are both of them married now?
The oldest sister is married.
Okay.
Yeah, but the middle sister is not.
Okay. She's never been married?
She's never been married.
Okay. Is she the happiest of the three of you? I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Marriage is becoming something, it's an option now. Whereas before, when I first came here in 74, if women weren't married by 25, they were called Christmas tree or something like that.
Really? I
Yes,
didn't know.
because that was the age, that after that it was too late. It was expired by
Yes,
25.
it expired. Yes.
Expired by
Yeah.
25. But now that, I think it came in the 90s when they had that big, they called it, I forget, there was a big gap, but that's when they took out all middle management and gave women opportunities in Japan. So they called it the lost decade, but it wasn't really lost because that's when women were able to get in the jobs they couldn't get in before because of all this middle management.
Yeah.
They do better work, but they're still not paid
Oh,
the same
equally.
equally. But still they had enough to be able to do their own. Because when I first came to Japan, if you saw a woman in a beautiful car, she either was a hostess or she had a sugar daddy.
I see.
Now,
They didn't have opportunities.
no, but now if you see women, and you see them all the time in beautiful cars, it's theirs.
Yes.
It's theirs. There's no doubt
Yeah.
about it. You can
Very
tell by the way they're driving it.
independent.
It's their car.
Yeah.
And they could be on their own, but they have beautiful cars now. They can live in nice apartments. They can travel. And they've decided to have a different lifestyle. But they still love Japan, I think. I think people still, Japanese still love their country.
Yeah.
Particularly if they travel, they get to realize how good it really is here. Particularly if they like a city. Oh, You
Yeah.
can't find a better place. You just can't.
Yeah, there is always like good things and bad things in each country, I think. And I have, love and hate for Japan too.
So when you went into, okay, what were the subjects you liked in high school? Would you start going towards academically in high school?
At that time, I loved English. That was my favorite subject since
Since when?
13 years old.
Okay.
I actually started learning English when I was 10, just a little eikaiwa school.
Right.
Yeah, so I loved studying English, and actually I saw this movie Terminator, Terminator 2 when I was 13,
Okay.
and I fell in love with Edward Furlong,
Okay.
John Connor, the little boy, and I wanted to understand everything he says at that time, and I really got into English at that time. Yeah, and then I was thinking from early on in my life, maybe because I didn't have my father, and he died when he was 40 years old, so he didn't really have the full life, and I think that made me start to think about my life, like what do I want to do in my life? Not really clearly, but it was in me, and I think I started to think about my career in the future, and even in my booklet, like for the elementary school graduation booklet, I was writing like I want to be a career woman, like that.
Okay.
So that was kind of a goal. But then in junior high, I started to think that I want to work internationally. Yeah, that was my dream.
Oh, from junior high school.
Yeah.
How did your friends feel about you? Because you had your friends around you, and I'm sure you told them what you wanted. What did they have to say? What did they think about you? What kind of reputation did you start to have?
I don't think I was sharing because I was quite a shy girl, and I don't think I've even told my mother or sisters at that time.
Did you go to a co-ed school or was it an all-girls school?
Yeah, co-ed.
Co-ed, okay.
Yeah, up until junior high. And high school, it was only girls' school.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you get into high school and you loved, your English was getting stronger. Are you the only one in the family that speaks English?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So they think I'm not Japanese.
But you are, because you did all of your elementary and junior high and high school here. Mm-hmm. That's when you become Japanese.
Yes.
If you left, if you never do elementary, if you don't do elementary in Japan, you can't really, you don't learn the kokoro, the seishin of the Japanese.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know everything that's Japanese.
Yes.
You just speak
Definitely.
English.
Yeah.
Right. How many other languages do you speak?
Oh, just this English and Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah, I learned a little bit of Spanish and Chinese before, but I forgot.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have no use for it yet. You don't have any use for it yet. Your Chinese and Spanish.
I can't.
You will eventually, especially Chinese. You're going to probably have to. The world's going to have to.
Oh, maybe ChatGPT or AI.
Or we'll have a little chip we'll put in, and then we'll be able to translate
Okay.
perfectly.
Yeah.
I think so. So when you went into high school, you started thinking seriously about what you were going to do when you went to college. What did you focus in on?
So in high school, I wanted to go to university, but because I have only my mother, and that wasn't a choice at that time, and so I went to junior college in Fukushima. Yeah, but then after being in junior college, my mother said I can go to like US for 2 years. Because she knew that was my dream to study over there. But if I have 3 years instead of 2 years, I could actually graduate from university because I could take 1 year worth of credits in Japan, and then I study over there for 3 years. So I asked my mother, can I go for 3 years? But then there was a family meeting. No one has ever gone to university at that point, even like including relatives.
Okay.
Oh, just one cousin went.
Is that right? So your sisters just finished
junior
high school?
College. Junior college,
right.
they went. So there was a family meeting with my sisters and my mom. So the condition was to just borrowing money, all the money from my mother, and then go, and then pay back afterwards. So I said, yes, of course I will do that.
And that's what you did.
To go.
Right.
Yeah, so it was a great opportunity. I really appreciate them for allowing me to go, and so I did. Yeah.
Your family was so organized. Your mother really had it together. You did a fantastic job with your daughters. There's no doubt about it. And I'm seeing your youngest, and she's going to translate this for you someday so that you'll see what I'm saying to you. But you did a fantastic job. Her last name is Abe?
Yes.
Abe-san, you did a fantastic job with your daughter. No doubt about it.
That's so
Oh,
sweet.
that is beautiful.
Yeah.
My goodness. Like I was telling you just before we started filming, how nature's made women a lot smarter than men. They've made you with the rhythm of this earth, and you understand more. We just want to get things done. We want to get there. We want to eat. We want to play. We want to eat. We're different, and there's a lot to be learned from that. I think so. But because we have so much information available now, is making it so that more people understand better.
Yeah.
Before it was difficult to get it. So when you finished your education, what did you study while you were in the States? And what was it like? What was that was your first time ever going?
It was actually the second time. Just briefly, I went to stay in Connecticut, in Sacred Heart University for only 3 months.
When?
For the summer.
What grade?
When I was 19 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you spoke enough English then too?
Not so much. I mean, conversation-wise, yeah.
So was it really a shock for you to go there the first time?
No, it wasn't a shock at all. Like, good shock.
Okay.
I mean, and my host family was very, very kind, and they took me to even New York 3 times, took me to like Broadway shows, and that was like the first time ever like that glittery, glamorous situation like in New York City, and I only saw that on TV only.
Right.
And coming from Fukushima, like a countryside, and then to New York, that was like a good shock. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Then so tell me this. So when you went there, did they have children in their family? The homestay?
Yes, 2 girls.
Your age?
No, a lot younger than me.
Okay, so you had to take care of them.
That was fun. They were so cute and nice.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Are you still in contact with them?
No, I lost in touch. For a while, we wrote letters, and I tried to look up on Facebook, and I found them, and I sent them messages, but they never read that. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So you haven't been able to get in touch. Maybe this will help you get in touch. Maybe they'll see
maybe.
you on this. Maybe they'll be going through this. Satoko.
Yeah,
What'd they call you?
so.
What'd they call you? Satoko?
Satoko, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be great. That's great. Okay, so when you finished there, what'd you graduate with? What kind of degree?
I graduated with a Bachelor of Science, Computer Information Systems.
Okay.
Yeah, with business.
What made you go into that field?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Because it was around 2000, year 2000, and everyone was talking about internet, and IT was the thing. I was sure that it would do well. So, yeah.
And you were right.
Yes.
You 100% right. So when you came back, what was your first job once you came back?
So I worked for a database company, Oracle, Japan. Yeah, that was my dream job when I was in IT, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long did you work with them?
I worked for them less than 3 years.
Doing what?
So I was a support engineer for their applications. Yeah. So B2B inquiries I take, and then just fixing bugs. Yeah.
You did not like it so much?
I didn't like it.
What about it did you not like?
Actually, at that time, the working hours was unpredictable. Every day was a long time as well. And, once the bug comes under my task, I have to fix it.
Regardless of what the time is, right?
Whatever the time is. So sometimes, I make appointments or dinner appointments with my friends, and then I have to cancel sometimes. And that happened a couple of times. And then I just thought, oh, maybe this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. Yeah. And I did stuff. It was so quick, very, very speedy. And it wasn't just for me. Yeah.
Okay, it just wasn't the type of thing you knew. You didn't want to live life at that pace.
I didn't want to at that time.
Did you have many women working with you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Quite a few.
Yeah, quite a few.
That's interesting. Okay, so from there, where did you go?
So I got married, and
With someone in the same field?
yeah, he was actually in IT industry. Yeah, but not in the same company. But we knew each other for 6 years by that time, and he was actually with me in Arizona too.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we got married and we moved to Singapore.
What was Arizona? You mean he was with you in Arizona? What was that? You said he was with you in Arizona.
Yeah.
When did you go to Arizona?
So after my junior college,
Right.
I transferred to Arizona State University.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
There you go. That
And then
fills in that gap.
he came. We met in Fukushima,
Right.
and so I went to US, and then he actually went to Canada, and then he came to Arizona afterwards.
So you guys were married for like 6 years, you said?
Yeah,
Okay.
6 years.
Right. After working with Oracle, is that when you went with the British company and you worked for BMW, or was it something else?
After Oracle, so I worked in Singapore as an IT consultant.
Okay.
Yeah, NTT in Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we were there only for 1 year,
Right.
and then we moved to Dubai.
How long were you in Dubai?
Dubai was 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how'd you like that?
Oh, I loved it. It was booming at that time, you know. I've never seen anything like that, you know, being raised in Japan in a recession.
That's right, that's right, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But no one knew about Dubai when I moved to Dubai.
What year did you move there?
2004.
Right, it was just starting.
Just starting.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah, everyone was, said, where is Dubai? Like that.
That's right.
But only after 2 years, everyone knew suddenly. And yeah, even my family and friends wanted to visit me, which was nice.
Did they?
Yeah, yeah.
Your sisters got to go?
Only the middle sister came,
Okay.
and I think 3-4 times she came. Every year almost.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's neat. That's neat. Yeah, my son and I were there not long ago, Dubai.
Okay.
Very interesting. Did you go up the tallest building? Burj
I didn't
Khalifa?
go up, but when I saw it
Being built?
being built every day, because I was always driving down that street, the main street, Sheikh Zayed Road,
Yes.
and to my work, and yeah, it was gradually going up and up. Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, and to the top of that. Then you came back to where?
Oh, so
Actually-
after that, I went to Oman. We
Oman.
moved to Oman and stayed there for 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you working every time you moved?
Almost every time, except for Oman,
Okay.
because we knew we were going to be there only for a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. And then from Oman, where'd you go?
From Oman back to Japan.
Okay, and then you guys split.
Yes.
All right. And that's when you started to have arthritis.
Yeah, after 1 year.
What was it like? Okay, let's go through it. How did that happen?
So suddenly, like, I started to have some pain on my fingers. And then gradually, over the next 3 to 6 months, started to have more pain, and then also other areas, like even my knees. And I just thought, oh, what's this pain? And I didn't know anything about rheumatoid arthritis. And I asked my mom, and she said, yeah, you should go to see a doctor. So I went, and then the doctor, said, I've got rheumatoid arthritis, and he gave me some medication, and he told me it's uncurable. You cannot cure this disease, and you have to basically live with your life, the rest of your life with this medicine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did you think when he said that to you?
I just took it as is, and I decided to take the medication, but I was really anxious, because I could see, my fingers can fracture and in future, with the inflammation.
Did it change the shape of your fingers any?
No.
Not at
So
all.
now it's fine because I found a way to get rid of the
Okay,
inflammation.
we're going to get to that, but I want to
yeah,
know. But during the time, it didn't swell?
it did.
It got very swollen, right?
Yeah, it was swollen like many fingers,
Right.
and this one was the worst. And yeah, it didn't look nice.
Okay. Right. And then also in your joints, all throughout your joints, you had pain.
Yeah.
So what kind of pain is this you're talking about?
What kind of
Yeah,
pain?
well, yeah. Was it at any particular time during the day? Like, would it happen in the morning, or was it just something painful all day, or what?
So the worst time is in the morning. Yeah.
Just before you're getting up?
Yes, because you don't move so much,
Right.
so it gets really stiff. But as the day goes by, it gets better, but still have pain. Yeah. And at the age of 34, I didn't want to have fractured fingers, after 20 years or something.
Why, he told you that's what would happen?
He said, yeah, this can happen to many people.
Fractured? Why? I mean, because you fall down or something? What do you
No,
mean?
just because
It starts to split?
because of the inflammation on the joints,
Right.
and it starts to fracture
Okay.
fingers. Yeah.
Then you start to become deformed,
Yeah,
right?
deformed.
Right.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just listen to your doctor? What made you decide to look for other things? How did that happen?
Because he was checking my blood every month, and he was checking liver functionality as well. So I was wondering, like, why liver? I thought it was like my joint problems, but I asked him, and then he told me, oh, because with this medication, you're likely to have liver to fail. And so I didn't want to take the chance, and I didn't want to take this medicine, and knowing that my liver will fail sometime. So I started to think, is there any other way? Yeah, so that's when I started.
But he wasn't thinking, is there any other way?
No.
Was this some doctor that you had for a long period of time, or just someone that you just met because of your arthritis?
The doctor I just met.
Right. What year are we talking? What year did that happen? What year was it?
It was
2000?
12 years ago. So
Okay, 12 years ago, would make it 2012?
2012, 2011, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's when you opened this facility.
2011, 2012, yeah.
And then you had the disaster in Fukushima.
Yes, 2011.
Right,
Yeah.
March 11th.
It was after that.
You had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. That was a stressful time too for all of us.
Right, but
Yeah.
but it was double for you. You're going through emotional stress plus another emotional stress, worried about
Yeah.
did it affect you? Did the earthquake affect any of your properties in Fukushima, your mom or anything?
Oh, it was fine.
You're very
And
lucky.
luckily, my mother was in Tokyo
At that time?
at that time.
Did anything happen? Nothing happened to the place she was at?
No, nothing happened.
Okay.
We are in Koriyama, so it's quite far away from the ocean.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but other people really had that devastation. It was interesting. My mother wrote me. I was here in the club when we had the earthquake,
Yeah.
March 11th. I was on the second floor, and I was president. I was president at that time because we just opened the facility. And my mother wrote me because she said, "Leave Tokyo." And I wrote her right back. I said, "The only drama to be found in Tokyo is on CNN." Because everything was calm around here. Everybody was handling it.
Yeah.
Japanese culture has learned to deal with disasters.
Many, many times.
They don't get upset. They live in a place that has that, so they're prepared for it. most countries, when a disaster happens, it's not the disaster that's the problem, it's the people after the disaster. In Japan, the only problem is the disaster because the people help each other.
Yeah.
They don't take
Very
advantage.
patient
They
as
do
well.
not take advantage of weakness. You'll see a guy, like I saw a guy in Fukushima, he was on there and his house was going down there and he went, shogunai. Who does that?
Yeah, I know.
Who does that? Any other country, they'd be going crying, they'd dive into the pool, they'd go crazy.
Yeah.
But here, they say, shogunai, just the next day, let's keep on going. Let's make. And if you see Fukushima today, or a year after the earthquake, you'd never believe it happened because everything's cleaned up. You can go to other countries that had earthquakes at the same time, still looks like an earthquake.
Yeah.
It's just a different way of conditioning people to think. It's a human thing, but it depends on how you've been conditioned to think that makes the difference. And Japan has done a great job with its people. What made you decide to start looking for other things? I know one is because you're worried about what was going to happen to your liver, because that processes all of this stuff, impurities. So being told that, you decided to start looking on the web?
I did, yeah. I did lots of research and I found one doctor who, he's a Western, how do you say that? Western medicine doctor,
right.
But also he does like Eastern medicine.
So he's alternative medicines, right?
Alternative medicine and acupunctures. And he actually treats patients with rheumatoid arthritis with acupuncture. So yeah, I found his seminar. So I decided to go and listen to him. And yeah, he was saying the food is the cause. So that really caught me. And then there is another doctor, Dr. August Hergesheimer, and he's a nutritional scientist. And yeah, I met him because of the earthquake, because he had this volunteer group called Save Minamisoma Project. And because I'm from Fukushima, I joined this group and I got to know him. And yeah, I didn't know what he was actually doing for a job, but going through his Facebook page, I thought, oh, he does something about food. So I told him, by that time we were friends, and I told him I have rheumatoid arthritis, and is there any way I can do for this disease? And yeah, he helped me with the diet, like what to eat, and what August was saying, and what the other doctor, Kato sensei, Dr. Kato, they were very, very similar. And I thought, this is telling me something. Maybe I should try this. Yeah.
What were some of the things that you found that you can talk about right now that were helpful in you not having the arthritis symptoms? What were some of the things that you were told to do?
Oh, so...
Or eat?
Yeah, both. But the food that doesn't cause inflammation, because the pain is inflammation, right? So I have to have the food that doesn't cause inflammation, but actually the pain is there, the inflammation is there. So I should have the food that reduces the inflammation. So that's what they taught me, and all the things, like basically like chemicals, to get rid of chemicals from my food or from my body lotion.
So you mean processed foods?
Highly processed food, I tried not to have anymore, because highly processed foods usually have lots of additives. You know, if you look at the back of the products, yeah. And I tried to choose organic food, but at that time it was very difficult to find organic food, like 12 years ago. So there was an organic food shop in Omotesando.
I know, it's expensive as I don't know what.
Yeah.
Yes.
Natural House and Crayon House. Both of them are gone now in Omotesando. But yeah, I used to travel there and then get the organic
Wasn't
food.
it expensive?
Yeah, it was expensive.
Because they really charge you a lot. And you had to really look and be sure, because sometimes it wasn't as organic as you think it was if you read the back, because there were a lot of additives. They could say it was.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
They could say it was organic, but it necessarily wasn't.
If the product has JAS certification,
Then
it's
it was.
regulated by the
Right.
government, because otherwise you cannot call it organic.
Right.
If the product has that, then it's audited by the third party. So yeah, you can trust that. But yeah, as you say, there are some additives sometimes in organic processed items as well. Yeah,
That's right.
so I had to be very careful and look at what I'm putting in my body.
What were some of the things that were adding to your inflammation? What were some of the bad things you were taking that were making it worse?
Food or
Food.
so dairy products,
All dairy products.
all dairy products.
Cheese,
yes.
yogurt,
milk,
milk,
yes. So I love
ice
those.
cream, ice cream.
Yes. So sugar also causes inflammation.
Okay.
And so does dairy products.
Right.
And that was shocking at that time. Nowadays, I think many people try to avoid. But 12 years ago, no one was saying that.
Right.
And it was shocking, but I loved, dairy products.
You can have your ice cream. And
Yeah.
what about sorbet?
Sorbet?
You can have sorbet?
Oh, it doesn't have dairy.
Dairy product, right.
Okay,
so you can do that, right?
Yeah, I wonder what other ingredients are.
You have to check, yeah. But you got to have yours. But it has sugar, I guess, some sort of sugar. And the thing that's bad about sweeteners, even if it's not sugar, the sweeteners can be 15 to 100 or something times sweeter because it's synthetic, which isn't good for you.
Artificial.
That's right.
Artificial sweetener. Yeah.
That's right. So you have to really pay attention. That's the biggest thing.
And some are carcinogenic as well.
That's right.
Artificial sweeteners.
That's right. What were some of the good foods?
Good foods. So I follow like high protein, high fat, and low carbs.
So you like meats. You can eat almost all meats.
Meat and fish and, sometimes, beans, but like natto, fermented.
Natto, right.
Yeah,
right,
beans and, for protein.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you do all the other nuts too, like regular nuts? And what about walnuts?
For snack. Yeah.
Walnuts,
Walnuts, yeah.
I do that. Oh, but no dairy. I like ice cream.
I know. It's okay sometimes, you can always have cheat days.
That's
I
right.
cannot go, without cheat days. Like I go out with my friends, my family, and when we get together, girls, we want to have some cake or some sweets.
I stopped drinking alcohol several months ago. And I feel I don't want people to feel uncomfortable about them drinking alcohol. So I'm very thankful for these non-alcoholic drinks.
Oh, I see.
Like non-alcoholic beer or wine. That makes me feel very happy because
I see.
They don't ask. They assume I'm drinking what they're drinking.
Yeah.
But I don't want to drink alcohol anymore. For what?
Okay.
Because you said when you start taking care of this vessel we have, you start realizing, why do we try to kill ourselves? We're going to die anyway. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality.
Yes, I agree.
Don't you think?
Yes, I agree.
And you want to go out with the best you possibly can. This is really meant to last a lot longer than we allow it to. We keep on pouring gasoline into it and we think it's going to keep on running. It won't.
You don't want to stay in bed like the last 10 years.
How soon did you start to see the differences?
So the first thing that I noticed was my skin. At that time, back then, I had lots of pimples.
Because of the medication?
No, because of all the bad food that I was eating and the stress and, the disaster happened. But anyway, from 24 years old, since I've been working, I started to have like pimples, even if I was, already an adult.
Yeah, talk to me.
So much. So actually, it was an issue for me, and I even went to see doctors and stuff. But the first thing that I noticed was with this new diet, my pimples went away. After, I think 6 months after I started following this diet.
And that wasn't even the intention.
It wasn't the intention.
The intention is just to get rid of the arthritis.
Yes.
And your face started clearing up. When did you start to notice it was happening?
So 6 months after I started the proper diet that I learned.
Okay.
Yeah. which I've been following to this day.
Do you have a booklet out or something on your diet?
Booklet, oh, like a
Yeah,
book?
a manual or how do wait? You lecture now. What do you do to spread the word?
Oh, so I teach how I eat, and I have a course. Yeah, like
Okay.
1 month course at this time, but yeah, in the future I will do like 3 months course, but based on the people's needs.
How does someone find out about your course?
Oh, it's online on my website. I have a website.
Okay. Is it in Romaji or is it in Kanji or what? It says Satoko Abe.
Yes, both. I have English page. I have Japanese page.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the name of the course? How did they find you?
So my website is lifeisbeautiful.jp,
Okay.
and for English /en.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. And if someone goes there, then they can find out about your course and everything. Is your course really expensive?
I wouldn't think so because, I've put so much effort into it for the last 12 years. I accumulated all the information, not just food, even the pollution. You get contaminated from this, PM 2.5. It's a big issue now.
From the sun? Or from the, no, just from the
air.
atmosphere air.
Yeah.
Okay.
And recently I read news which came out like last month. It actually increases the risk of lung cancer. Yeah, so there are many studies like that. But once it's, living in Tokyo, it's a big city, and we have to breathe, every second. And so once the, bad toxins comes into your body, like what to do? It gets accumulated, but you have to detox.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have that kind of detoxing information as well with food.
Okay.
Yeah, and also things that you don't notice in day-to-day life, like heavy metals. Without you knowing, you are taking in heavy metals. Like when you eat fish, yeah, mercury is in it. So without you knowing, especially Japanese people eat lots of fish, so that's one of the high contents, like in the body, getting accumulated.
Yes.
So how to deal with that? Yeah, sort of things. Plus, what you put on your skin. When with food, you have a detox system in your body. So once something bad comes into your body, like bacteria too, the body tries to kill it, get rid of it,
Right.
and basically get out of your system. But with skin, there is no detoxing system. So once you put something chemical on your skin, it goes directly into your bloodstream. So that can cause issues as well in your blood.
So you instruct people on what are some of the best things to put on your skin, like for moisturizers
Yes,
and for cleansing and everything, right?
as little chemical as possible.
Okay.
Yeah. But there are some options, and I've done some research for the last 10, 12 years, and I've accumulated all these information. So my course is just 1 month, but it's a very intense and with lots of information. So I wouldn't, back in like 2012 when I got rheumatoid arthritis, I wish I knew all these information. So back to your question, I don't think it's very expensive. It's quite affordable, I think,
That's
for
good.
many people.
And this is online, so it's something
Yes.
that you have set up so if someone gets it, they can just do it at their pace. Or is it?
It's an intense one for 1 month right now.
Well,
So-
you do this live? Is this something you do?
Yes, I do it, and basically one-to-one, one-on-one.
I see.
Yeah, because sometimes it's a health issue, so very personal for that person. So 1 month, but people tell me I should do it like 3 months because they want me to sit aside until they get used to the diet. Yeah, but even within 1 month, by the end of 1 month, people will get everything, like how to eat, and because they send me pictures of each meal, So, and then I give advice, and then they correct it, and then by the end of 1 month, they know it. But they say, they want to do it like over 3 months, and then because 1 month is too intense. But still, you can get it.
Right.
You can get all the information. Yeah.
Are most of your clients women or men? Or both?
Mostly women, but some men too. Yeah, like even for men who want to lose weight.
It helps with that as well?
Yes, helps with it because, you only eat what you need for your body. So like...
You should only eat what you need for your body, but we don't.
You see, like when you see the ramen shop, like for example in Japan, when you look at men, they eat bowl of ramen and then rice.
And then gyoza.
So much carbs.
And gyoza.
Yeah, and gyoza.
And gyoza, right.
Yeah.
And the beer.
Yeah. So, many men eat that way. So I teach them some tips.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. And I think it is so important and so needed now. And because we can get this information, that's very good, Satoko.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. So what do you see yourself doing now? Are you working for anyone now, or do you just do this online course?
So I'm self-employed right now. And so this is my main thing, to do the coaching, health coaching sessions. But I also work for an Australian organic meat company. Yeah, so I try to help them to grow the market. Yeah, because, in Japan, there is not so much, sustainable meat. And there are only 4 or 5 organic farms, meat farms, in Japan, and so it's not accessible to general public. And with the Australia is so huge, and they can raise the cattle or sheep in the most sustainable way. They are free range the whole life, which is quite impossible in Japan. And
pretty much, yes.
Yeah. And no antibiotics, no growth hormones, and all grass-fed. And by bringing this into Japan, I thought I can, share what's possible to raise animals in the most sustainable way. 7 years ago, I started to help them, and it's still on the way, but it's slowly growing.
Well, that is wonderful. Yeah. So, Toko, before I end the program, there's always a question I like to ask of all of the people that come on an episode. If you could go back in time and meet the younger Satoko and give her advice based upon what you know now, how old would you be, and what advice would you give her?
I would go back to 13-year-old me, because that was I think the most difficult time of my life. I was bullied, not by students, but by a teacher. So, I stopped going to school for a while. A couple of times missed the school, and I stopped studying, and I was at the low point of my life at that time. So...
You were bullied by a teacher? A female teacher?
A male teacher.
So you're bullied by him, and then you just stopped going to school?
Missed some classes. And so it was the lowest point of my life, but my grades, went down, and eventually I decided, no, I don't want to waste my time, waste my life because of him. So I started to study again. But it was a tough year, and I want to tell myself, 13-year-old me, that you're gonna be okay, and just follow your heart, and you're gonna meet wonderful people in your life. And my mentors, nutrition mentors, or now, Ken Honda. He's a best-selling author, and he's actually my mentor. And you meet wonderful people. They will lead you, guide you to where you want to be, and yeah, you'll be just fine, and you'll enjoy life. So
that's beautiful. Thank you so much, Satoko.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I want to thank all of you for watching or listening to this podcast. And never forget, it's all on loan, so continue to reach for the stars.
Because you're too blessed to be stressed.